World War One bread. Now that I'm thinking back to it, yeah, you proper instructions were to rehydrate the bread. In other words, you would dip it inside a little bit of water and put it inside a pan and cook it, kind of, to rehydrate the bread. Actually, there were instructions that would have gone with that MRE, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a rehydrate. A lot of those, they had to take all the water out and get it squished as thick as they want. So it's basically a hard cracker, really hard cracker, like super hard cracker. And what you do is you would put it inside your pan and put a little bit of water in there, and then you would literally rehydrate it. It was like the first like rehydration thing. Anyway, and it would kind of get softer. And the water would kind of like mix in and stuff like that. And I forget exactly, but you're not supposed to just eat it. So anyway, read the instructions. Go back, read the instructions. Because you're missing a step. And that step, of course, is put it in pan, put water in it, and cook it up a little bit. A lot of them were really hard, and you don't just dip it in coffee. Although some people did dip it in the coffee. I don't know if they had coffee back then. I think they might have had coffee. I forget when coffee hit the scene, as they say. When we found coffee, we started developing it, and in fact, refining it, purifying it, and supercharging it. And all that. I mean, a lot of these things had to be increased. You know, they were rather plain inside, out there in the world, and they had to be bred and even refined and made more potent. So to supercharge people. Anyway, though, I mean, people walking along, spelunking through my past, and the people who actually lived it. It was rather, the hardtack was really popular. It was. I think it, like I said, I think it went like tree bark, and then it went jerky, and then it went hardtack or something like that. Or there's hardtack and jerky. They were kind of together. You had your little jerky, and you had your little hardtack, and then you boil your hardtack in water, and then you eat your jerky. And that was basically Civil War food rations, was a little bit of jerky and a little bit of hardtack. And later on they became companies and big and money and blah, 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 and popularity. And the hardtack was shipped around the world. A lot of my jerky was shipped around the world, or dried meat. I think I did the research in Germany or somewhere over there. And the bread, I think, because America was basically the grain belt, I think they did the hardtack. You know, we kind of did this whole world thing. You know, I had a facility here, I had a facility there. There weren't so many people, and we were, you know, doing it right. And so a lot of people looking back at a lot of these old relics might go, what's this? It's like, yeah, you're supposed to boil it in water. And I think even some of the jerky, you would put your hardtack maybe inside there and put a little bit of meat, a little bit of the jerky, because it was super dry a lot of times. So you'd kind of boil up the jerky, kind of boil up the hardtack. It was kind of like the first like dried ration, because water and other things, and plus I think you would get the salt out of the bread. There were a couple different versions. That there was a we were putting salt with bread, and you couldn't do yeast and all that. But they were trying some yeast and stuff, and you know, I mean, it was a long time ago for me, really. I mean, it was a long time ago. It was when I was first, you know, I was a little child, and we were going out there into the world, and you know, so. Now ancient history, and it's kind of funny because they say 1863 Civil War is like, you know, it's like it was yesterday for me. I mean, I was, you know, I just remember, I mean, I was just a child, and I was, you know, doing it, making money, being popular, bringing my peoples together. And the hardtack bread was one of the first breads that was shipped around the world. So anyway, what are we at, 4 minutes? Yeah. You know, and plus, like I say, you know, in order to get it across over the oceans, you know, to other places, you know, it had to last at least 60 days. It takes about 3 months or 2 months to get across between continents. So in order to do any good anywhere else, you know, it had to be able to get that far. So yeah, you'd boil it up and put a little water in it, boil it up, and it'd get a little softer, and it would taste pretty good. So when a lot of people say, well, I had to use my thing to bust it out and all that other stuff, it's like, well, if you were there in the Civil War, you would know how to prepare it. Somebody lost instructions. So, because I put instructions with it, and the instructions were, boil it with some water, heat it up, soften it up, and nibble. Yummy times. So, yeah. Who lost the instructions? Huh?